Alright, here's a quick video on Pythagorean theorem. So this is when there's a right triangle. So if you see a word problem or something that tells you the right angle or a right triangle, it's going to be a question you need to use this formula for, the Pythagorean theorem. So two things to remember here. C, which is the hypotenuse, always has to be the longest side, and that's the one right across the 90-degree angle. And then when you're solving this, you end up with C by itself or B by itself, depending on what you're solving for. Don't forget to square root at the end to get rid of the square, like we did on solving equations. So let's get started here. There's two types of questions you're going to get. You're either going to be asked the hypotenuse, which is C on this one, or you're going to be asked one of the legs. In this case, I'll label this one A, B, C. ABC over here. So let's set up the Pythagorean theorem. So you have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now plug in the values in those spots. 5 to the second power plus 13 to the second power equals c to the second power. Simplify your two exponents, add up those values. And then just don't forget to square root at the end. So we have 194, we square root both sides to get the real value of c. So c equals 13.9. If they say it around to the nearest tenth, it'll be 13.9. If it says hundredth, you need to keep one more decimal. So 13.93. Alright, let's do the second one here. The second one, they're giving you the hypotenuse, so they're giving you c. So you need to set up a squared plus 10 squared equals 20 squared. The numbers are still in their correct spots. And now on this one, you're just going to have to subtract, and then you square root at the end. So the a squared is going to come down, but you have to subtract the 100 you get from this side to both sides. So you end up with a squared equals 300 when you subtract 100 from both sides and then square root. So the square root of 300 is 17.32. So we're going to do 17.3 because they usually ask for the nearest tenth. And if they say hundredth, just make it 17.32. Alright, let's get to these practice questions here. So it says, which point is closest to point A? So to point A, you can just kind of draw a line to each one, see which one's the closest. Alright, we don't need to try B over here because that one's further than B. But either way, we're going to figure out these values. Let me make it bigger so we can see it. So we can make a right triangle from A to C here to calculate the distance from A to C. This distance we can just count. That's 6 boxes away. So this will be a distance of 6 from A to D. And now we can calculate our distance A to C and A to B. So let's do the A to C first. This side is 5 blocks, so it's a measurement of 5. This one's 1 block. So now we can set up our Pythagorean theorem. 5 squared plus 1 squared equals c squared. And c is what we're trying to find out, because from A to C is this side right here. So it's going to give me 25 plus 1, which is 26. And you just square root at the end. And you get 5.1. So this is going to be 5.1 distance C. So now let's find the distance to B over here. So B, to find that distance, you may have to go from here to here where B is, which is not 6, it's 5. And then it's only 2 boxes as the other leg. So 5 squared plus 2 squared equals C squared. This time is 25 plus 4, which is 29, and you square root at the end. So this one gives you 5.4. So now we see that the smallest one is from A to C. Alright, so we can do the same process over here. Let's clear it. I'll make it bigger for us. Alright, so which point is farthest from A? So this time we need the bigger measurement to be the answer. So from A, we have over here C would be 5 boxes. So the measurement will be 5 for C. I put it right next to the letter C down there. Now to find the measurement for B, we have to make a right triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem. This side's 2 and this side's 4. So 2 to the second power plus 4 to the second power equals C to the second power. That'll give me 4 plus 16, which is 20. Square root at the end and round to the nearest tenth. So 4.5. That's the measurement from A to B. Now we gotta measure from A to D over here. To do that, we just gotta get this leg, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. And this leg is 3 boxes. We can just count it. Equals C squared. This would be 25 plus 9, which is 34. Square root it. 5.8. So that's the biggest value. So D is the farthest. Alright, let's go to the next page. We got 2 more pages that we can practice questions on. Alright, so this is a triangle here, right? What is the approximate perimeter of the triangle? To find these measurements, you have to split this into 2 right triangles so you can use Pythagorean theorem. So from here to here is 4. And then the line that we just drew in red is from 1 to 7. So it's 6. And actually this bottom one is not 4, it's 2. Because I just noticed every 2 boxes is 1. See how every 2 boxes is 1? So this is actually a measurement of 2. And this is a measurement of 6. And now we set it up to find the measurement of NP. This measurement over here, our C value, hypotenuse. So 6 squared plus 2 squared equals C squared. That gives you 36 plus 4. And then square root of 40 will give you the measurement, 6.3. So now we can label all our sides. We know this side is 6.3 because that's a 6.3, and the bottom is 4. Now perimeter is adding up all the sides, so just add your 6.3 plus 6.3 plus 4. And that gives you 16.6. And we have our answer here. Alright, let me clear that. Let's do one of these questions where they give you directions and stuff. So here Miranda is standing at the corner of a 7 meter by 11 meter field. So 7 by 11. She needs to go to the corner diagonally opposite from where she's standing. Diagonal. how much shorter is it if she cuts across diagonal instead of walking around the perimeter? So if she's standing here and she walks the normal route, she's going to walk 18 meters. So this is our base value that now we're going to compare with if she cuts straight across, how much shorter is it? Because that's the question, how much shorter? So let's set it up. 7 squared plus 11 squared equals c squared. That's 49 plus 121. Square root of it. And get 13.03, let's say 13. So now we just subtract 18 minus 13 will be 5 meters shorter. Alright, let's go straight to the next question. We leave that for practice. And let's do this last one. So make sure you understand what the cardinal directions are. And north, south, east, west. So if someone's walking or driving, whatever they're doing, right, north, they're telling you that from here to here is 10. 11 west will be this way, 11. And now cutting diagonal is going to be what they're asking about. So how much shorter is this one? So let's add first the normal route. 11 and 10 gives you 21 total, the long route. And then the shorter route, we set up the Pythagorean theorem. It gives us 100 plus 121. And you square root at the end. You get 14.9. And you can subtract your values here. 21 minus 14.9 will be 6.1. Right, if it says 100, then you would have put 14.86 or 87 and subtract it from your 21. .13. Alright, hopefully this helps. The video coming soon.